The ghost ship appears. Welcome back. In the endless waves of the Atlantic Ocean, mysteries are born, but few have captured the imagination of the world like the tale of the Mary Celeste. On November 7, 1872, the ship left New York Harbor with a crew of 7 men, Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife Sarah, and their little daughter Sophia. They carried a valuable cargo, 1,701 barrels of alcohol, bound for Genoa, Italy. For all records, the ship was strong, the weather was fair, and the journey looked safe. Yet, less than a month later, the Mary Celeste would become a legend. When she was found adrift in December 1872, everything was perfectly intact: food, water, cargo, even the crew's belongings. But not a single soul remained aboard. No one ever saw the captain, his family, or the crew again. The mystery of Mary Celeste has haunted historians, sailors, and storytellers for over a century. Was it mutiny, piracy, natural disaster, or something beyond human understanding? Every theory only deepens the riddle. Tonight, we embark on a journey back in time, to sail with the Mary Celeste. We will uncover her story, part by part, and dive into the unanswered questions that still echo across the sea. Prepare yourself, for this is not just a story of a ship. It is the legend of a ghost ship. The birth of a mysterious ship. The story of the Mary Celeste does not begin with her ghostly discovery, but with her construction. Built in 1861 in Nova Scotia, Canada, she was originally named Amazon. A strong wooden brigantine, she was designed for long voyages and heavy trade across the Atlantic. Yet, from the very beginning, her fate seemed cursed. On her maiden voyage, the first captain suddenly fell ill and died before the trip could even end. Soon after, the ship suffered a series of misfortunes, collisions, storm damage, and constant repairs. Sailors began to believe the vessel carried bad luck. In 1867, a storm wrecked her off the coast of Nova Scotia, and it seemed like the end of her story. But the ship was salvaged, repaired, and sold to new American owners who renamed her Mary Celeste. Under this new name, the vessel would gain eternal fame, but not for the reasons her owners expected. The chosen leader for her fateful voyage in 1872 was Captain Benjamin Briggs. Known as calm, religious, disciplined, and highly respected, Briggs was unlike many other captains of his time. For this trip, he made an unusual choice: to bring his wife Sarah and their 2-year-old daughter Sophia along. The crew consisted of 7 skilled sailors with good reputations. The cargo was 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol, bound for Genoa, Italy. The Mary Celeste set sail from New York on November 7, 1872. Everything seemed perfect: fair weather, loyal crew, and safe conditions. Briggs even recorded in his captain's log that the voyage was smooth. But those were his last words. Within a month, the Mary Celeste would be found adrift in the Atlantic, her people gone forever. Miss Sophie, would you like to say something? Please share with my audience what research you have done.
Thanks, John. The ghost ship appears. On the morning of December 4, 1872, the crew of the British brig Dei Gratia spotted a vessel drifting aimlessly in the waters near the Azores Islands, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. From a distance, the ship appeared strangely alive, her sails partially set, moving slowly with the wind. But something about her movement felt wrong, almost eerie. Captain David Morehouse of the Dei Gratia ordered his men to approach. As they drew closer, the name painted on the hull became clear: Mary Celeste. The ship had left New York weeks earlier, carrying alcohol bound for Genoa, but she was not expected to be found wandering mid-ocean. 2 sailors boarded the vessel. What they found shocked them. The ship was perfectly seaworthy, with no signs of damage. The cargo hold was intact, nearly 1,700 barrels of alcohol still secured. The crew's personal belongings, clothes, pipes, tools, were untouched. The ship's kitchen still had food supplies, and in the cabin, there were 6 months of provisions, including water. But there was no one on board. Not the captain, not his wife, not their little daughter, and not a single crew member. The lifeboat was missing, along with some navigational tools and papers, but otherwise, everything was in order. Even stranger, the ship's logbook showed normal entries up until November 25, just days before discovery. Nothing hinted at panic or danger. The Dei Gratia crew sailed the Mary Celeste to Gibraltar, baffled and disturbed. The ocean had offered them a ship without souls, an eternal riddle now drifting into history.
Thank you, Miss Sophie. The information you have shared is truly rare. Full score. I am grateful to you. Let's move forward. The Gibraltar Court Inquiry. When the Mary Celeste was brought to Gibraltar, British authorities launched a formal investigation. At first glance, the case looked like a prize of fortune, a perfectly good ship, saved by the crew of Dei Gratia. According to maritime law, those who discovered and salvaged an abandoned ship were entitled to a reward. But as officials examined the vessel, doubts and suspicions grew. Why would an experienced captain like Benjamin Briggs abandon a seaworthy ship with enough food and water for months? Why was the lifeboat missing, yet no distress signal recorded? And why were the captain's log entries so normal until the last day? The investigators carefully searched the vessel. They found deep cuts on the bow, as if from a sword or axe, but later experts claimed these were natural scratches from the sea. Some barrels of alcohol were empty, but not enough to explain a mutiny or disaster. Rumors spread that Captain Morehouse and his crew of the Dei Gratia had perhaps murdered the Mary Celeste crew to claim salvage rights. Yet, after weeks of questioning, no evidence was found to support this theory. The Gibraltar court reluctantly ruled that the Mary Celeste was abandoned under mysterious circumstances. The crew of the Dei Gratia received only a small portion of the salvage money, far less than expected, because of lingering suspicions. The unanswered questions haunted everyone. Where had the crew gone? Why did they leave behind their belongings? What happened to Captain Briggs, his wife, and their little daughter? This was no longer just a salvage case, it was becoming one of the greatest maritime mysteries of all time. Miss Sophie, can you reveal some deeper truths? Once again, I am turning to you for answers that the world deserves to know.
Thanks, John. Once again, I will talk about some theories that could change the way we see our history and the universe itself. Endless theories. As the years passed, the mystery of the Mary Celeste only grew deeper. Without evidence, people created theories, some logical, others wild and terrifying. 1. Piracy or mutiny. Some believed pirates had attacked, but this theory collapsed, nothing valuable was stolen, and there were no signs of violence. Others suggested mutiny, but the loyal crew had no reason to betray Captain Briggs. 2. Alcohol explosion. Another theory claimed that fumes from the alcohol cargo might have built up, creating fear of an explosion. If the captain ordered everyone into the lifeboat temporarily, a sudden storm could have swept them away, leaving the ship unharmed. 3. Waterspout or seaquake. Some thought a violent waterspout or undersea earthquake might have shaken the ship, causing panic and forcing the crew to abandon it. Yet again, the vessel itself showed no major damage. 4. Attack by sea monsters. Sailors, always superstitious, whispered of giant squids or sea creatures that could have snatched the crew. Such stories added fear but lacked proof. 5. Alien abduction. In the 20th century, with UFO fascination rising, some claimed the crew had been taken by extraterrestrials. This theory, though unbelievable to many, kept the legend alive in popular culture. 6. Insurance fraud. Others suggested Captain Briggs might have staged the disappearance for money. But those who knew him described him as deeply religious, honest, and unlikely to risk his family's life. None of these theories fully explained the mystery. Every possibility raised more questions than answers. The Mary Celeste became less of a shipwreck story and more of a legend, a ghost ship forever sailing in human imagination.
Miss Sophie, you explained everything wonderfully. We are truly grateful for your time and for sharing such valuable insights with us. Now, let's move forward to the next part of our discussion. A ghost ship for all time. After the mysterious disappearance of her crew, the Mary Celeste continued sailing under new captains for several years, but her name was forever cursed. Sailors refused to serve on her, believing she carried bad luck. Every voyage ended in strange misfortune, storms, accidents, financial loss. Eventually, in 1885, the ship was deliberately wrecked in a failed insurance scam, ending her tragic career. But the mystery of her empty decks never died. Newspapers of the time sensationalized the story, calling her the ghost ship. Writers and poets turned her into legend. In the 20th century, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, even wrote a fictional story about her, adding new layers of mystery and superstition. Today, Mary Celeste remains one of the most famous maritime enigmas. She is studied in history books, discussed in documentaries, and remembered in countless ghost ship tales. Her story symbolizes the sea's eternal power to hold secrets, and mankind's endless curiosity to solve them. To this day, no one knows what truly happened to Captain Briggs, his wife, their daughter, and the crew. The ocean has kept its secret. The Mary Celeste sails on, not in water, but in imagination, forever haunting the waves of history. The Mary Celeste is gone, but her mystery remains. More than 150 years later, no one has solved the puzzle of her vanished crew. Every explanation, piracy, mutiny, storm, explosion, even aliens, fails to answer the simple question: why would they abandon a safe, seaworthy ship? The sea has swallowed many stories, but this one lingers like a ghost. The unanswered questions echo across the waves, as if the ocean itself guards the secret. Perhaps one day the truth will be discovered, or perhaps the Mary Celeste is destined to remain an eternal riddle. For sailors, she is a warning. For writers, she is inspiration. For dreamers, she is proof that the world still holds secrets beyond imagination. So the next time you stand by the ocean and watch the waves, remember the Mary Celeste. Somewhere in the mist of history, she is still sailing, her empty decks creaking under invisible footsteps, her sails catching ghostly winds. The legend lives on. The ghost ship never deceived. If you are a Messi fan, hit the like button right now, and if you are a Ronaldo fan, then smash the subscribe button. We'll meet again in the next video with another untold mystery. Until then, stay safe, stay curious, and remember, your thoughts in the comments keep this journey alive.